Why wait until you're 50 or 60 to reap the benefits of retirement? That's why in this video, I'm sharing why I chose to have a mini retirement versus retiring early, because this is what really allowed me to fund my dream lifestyle at 26. What's up guys, it's Nick. As you know, I'm a recovered shopaholic, now a money mindset coach, empowering working professionals to fund their dreams into reality. So in my previous video, I touched on the importance of creating a mini retirement plan so that you're not constantly overwhelmed, tired, exhausted, burnt out, working really hard to be financially free and retire early. So I have this two-part video series wherein here in this video, I'm gonna share the 4 reasons why a mini retirement plan could work for you, and in next week's video I'm gonna share the 4 steps on how you can create a mini retirement plan yourself. So if you're all about that, then make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel, because I do have a new video every single week. Now let's get into the video. First off, how does a mini retirement look like? This was coined by Tim Ferriss in his book, The 4-Hour Work Week, which I highly recommend you check out. But he mentioned that a mini retirement is a series of meaningful rest throughout your life in which you take a break from your career, rather than taking one final retirement at the end of your life. It's really a time to step away from your typical routine and create a blank slate. When I read this, I was like, this makes so much sense, because what's the point of living day by day when we just keep looking forward to retirement? And then most people, when they do retire, they're like, is this it? This is it. This is what I've been working so hard for, and then this is it. You know, it becomes underwhelming. So having a mini retirement, you create that balance of really enjoying your youth, the peak of your energy, and at the same time, you figure out what you do really want to do in your retirement, or you just end up not having regrets that later on when you're 50, 60, you don't regret that, oh, I wish I started this business. I wish I went to this place. I wish I decided to take that leap of faith to whatever. You don't have those regrets anymore because you created the balance of enjoying the benefits of having mini retirements in specific times of your life. And it also creates a break from your routine and stop being on autopilot. So here are some examples of what a mini retirement could look like. So for me, it was really taking a break from my entire career that I've been doing for 6 years, and I completely pivoted as a content creator and entrepreneur today. And this is where I pursued my coaching business, because most of the time I noticed that people would pursue the business that they've always wanted when they retire. They're like, oh, this is going to be the business that is going to be my retirement business. I'm going to finally do that when I'm 60 or 50. Why not start it today? And that's what I've built towards in creating that mini retirement plan. So I saved up, as I've always shared, $500K worth of my freedom fund, which includes my emergency fund and business capital, which allowed me to step away and completely pivot from my career. And I promised myself that I would go all in for 1 year to do what I've always wanted. And for me, that is a gift that I gave myself. It was a permission slip for me to do what I've always wanted, as if I'm on retirement. Another example is one of my clients who wanted to have a mini retirement plan through quarterly trips or quarterly travels. So every single quarter she would go to a different country or go to a different place, and that really allowed her to enjoy the benefits of retirement. Because isn't it like one of the things that we want to do is like, oh, we're in retirement, I want to go on this cruise, I want to go on this country, But reality is we don't have as much energy anymore when we are at that age. So why not save up for it now and work towards exactly that? And you also get a feel of like, is this really what I want to do when I'm retired, or is this too tiring to have this much trips? Like you also realize now, as early as now, like, is this really what you want to use your hard-earned money when you're retired? Because you're going to have still a retirement fund, right? Like you also get a feel of like, is this really how I want to use my retirement fund in the future, right? Rather than ginastos mo na pag retired ka and you're like, I should have just used it for something else, because I realized that traveling that often is not really my thing, you know? Because I think the biggest regret is always wondering, what if I did this? What if I did that? Maybe it would have worked out. and I really don't want to have huge amount of regrets when I am at my old age. And that is the beauty of having a mini retirement. Another version of a mini retirement could be you could take a sabbatical leave from your current employers. When I was in corporate, I saw this with one of my colleagues, that she was able to take a 2 to 3 month sabbatical leave to study abroad, to be with her family abroad, and all of that. And that's also possible depending on your employer. And that's something that you can negotiate with and things like that, so that you really take a pause from your career and really figure out, is this really what's meant for you? Is this really what you truly want? Because sometimes we're operating too much on autopilot, following the career path that we're supposed to take, or the path in our life that we're supposed to do for years and years. That's the biggest mistake that I've done. For 6 years, it's like I just let life control me versus, you know what, why don't I just pause and figure out, is this really what's meant for me? This is what I'm really fired up helping my clients with, is really tune into themselves and figure out, what does it mean to really stay true to who they are? What does it really mean to live an authentic life that is true to you? Because sometimes it's a challenging thing, because not a lot of people will understand why you have to go a certain path that is not meant for everyone. When I started to do my coaching business, my colleagues or the people in my field back then in corporate didn't really understand why I'm completely doing a whole different thing. Or like I have clients who ended up thinking that this is the career that my parents wanted for me. This is not what I've wanted. And it's just so empowering to step away and to step back and really take time to figure out, is this really what I'm called to do? Is this really where I'm meant to be 1 year time, 5 years time? Because if you are cringing and if you are in so much resistance, seeing yourself 5 years from now exactly still where you are, then this is the sign for you to think about, how can you create a mini retirement plan so that you can step away and really think about, what do you truly want? Is this what you truly want out of your life? And that's why I love coaching my clients on this, is really to map out their vision, their dream lifestyle, so that they can work backwards. Like, okay, if you want to have this career, or if you want to have this property, if you want to wake up every day and have the time, money, freedom, okay, so what do you have to do today so that you can move towards that? Because sometimes we are so disheartened that we're like, sobrang layo pa nun, sobrang imposible nun, that we don't do a single step. We don't move a single step towards that long-term goal. Okay, so really what I help my clients with is really to map out, what is their dream life? What do they truly want that is true to themselves, that sticks to who they are authentically, sticks to their values, sticks to what it truly means to live life on their terms? And okay, then how can money become a tool to help you arrive there? What would be your ideal monthly income that you need to save up for in the next few months, so that you can break away and step away and create the life that you've always wanted? Now, as a result, the money that you save up allows you to have the freedom of choice to create this mini retirement plan, to create the life that you've always wanted, and figure out, maybe this is not meant for me, maybe I'm meant for something else. And it's completely okay to change your mind, because that's what it really means to live, isn't it? Like, to test, to experiment, to learn who we are and who we're meant to be. And if you're curious to learn more about how I coach my clients through this, you can check the link in my bio inside my Fund Your Freedom coaching program. I've been fully booked for March, April, and I'm close to being fully booked for May. I only have 2 slots left. So if you're curious about it, you can check the link in my bio, and I would love to coach you in creating and funding the dream life that you deserve as well. Now, here are the 4 reasons why I prefer a mini retirement versus retiring early, and here you can figure out if it could work for you as well. Number 1 is you could enjoy more in your 20s and 30s. Okay, don't you want to tell the most amazing stories to your grandchildren when you're like 50, 60, or even older? Why not, right? You lived your best life, and you could lead by example to the younger people that it's possible for you to enjoy your youth and play and experiment and learn so much about yourself. Because I feel like our 20s and 30s, it's really like a journey of self-discovery. It's a journey of figuring out who is the best version of yourself. And you can't figure that out if you're constantly busying yourself, earning money, working really hard, and just working and sleeping, working and sleeping. And for some people, they don't even sleep that much because they're focused on working really hard. This is our opportunity more than ever to explore passions, interests, more adventures and experiences. Because when we do retire for good, right, for 60 or whatever, you won't have that much energy anymore to travel or to do that passion project you've always wanted. And so for me, I feel like if I didn't position what I wanted as like a mini retirement, then the obstacle that some people run into when they focus on retiring early is that they're really, really tiring themselves out, or sometimes living paycheck to paycheck, because this is all the rewards that they could have from working really hard. Versus, what if we could strike a balance of, okay, I can enjoy these peaks of mini retirement in my life, where I could step away from my career, where I could go ahead with the travel, where I could finally post about that passion project, and at the same time I get to enjoy the work that I'm doing, and at the same time I also know that I'm securing my long-term retirement. So I'm gonna talk about how you can secure also your long-term retirement plan in my next week's video, so stay tuned for that and hit the notification bell so that you won't miss out on that video. But in essence, don't you owe it to yourself, to your older self, that you have lived your best life in your 20s? I would rather retire later but enjoy my younger years today. Because for me, real freedom is really enjoying what you have, is finding contentment and internal calmness in what you already have, that you can find a way to enjoy life and enjoy earning from what you do. And when you do know that it's time for you to retire, that you would have this sense of like, yeah, like I freaking lived my life. I enjoyed my life. I'm not terrified of old age. I'm not terrified of one day being taken away from this earth, you know, because I know that I've made the most out of my years, even though I'm only 26 and I'm turning 27 soon. I know that I've maximized every single day, and I know that I've looked at every day as a gift because I've been serving my purpose. I know that I've been living out my truth. Two that I touched on, second reason why I prefer a mini retirement versus retiring early is because you also avoid burnout or pressure in the process. You're not constantly thinking about, I need to have 10,000 side hustles so that I can meet the X amount of savings or X amount of investments that I need. You're not like a pressure cooker waiting to explode that one day you won't be able to take it anymore. And oftentimes when we are operating in exhaustion, in overwhelm, that even enables us to make the wrong spending or investing decisions. I realize that I make the best decisions when it comes to my investments, to my spending habits, when I am calm, when I am intentional about doing something. And it's not because there's an external pressure or there's an external timeline telling us na dapat married ka at this age, dapat may anak ka na by this age, or dapat you're doing XYZ or you have X amount of money by this age if you want to retire by 50 or whatever it may be for you. And because is it really enjoying life if every day you wake up with a sense of overwhelm and misery and emptiness and unfulfillment? I don't think so. That's not how I want to operate my life. I want every day to feel like a gift because I get to do what I love. And if you're enjoying life day by day, then it seems like you're on retirement every single day. This is what I see my clients go through when they decide to take a pause and pursue the dream career that they've always wanted, to pivot in their business because they've decided to save up funds for their emergency fund, for their freedom fund, which kind of serves us as a mini retirement plan as well. So it's really different depending on the life goals of my clients, and then we personalize based on that. And third reason why I prefer a mini retirement is because you can pursue your dream career right now. And this is really what happened to me, is that when I decided to take a break from my previous career path that I thought that was meant for me until I was like 50, you know, it made me realize like what does my dream career really look like? Because if we take one path and then realize like it's not meant for us, that's okay. You can give yourself permission to change your mind, as I've always shared. The problem is when we don't do anything about it, when we just let it be. You're like, eto na talaga yun, this is life, this is how life is meant to be for me. I just struggle waking up every day with no purpose and no fulfillment, you know. And so a mini retirement plan can give you that permission that you can pursue what you've always wanted because you have enough buffer funds to do it. Dito papasok yung having a freedom fund, which I'm gonna talk about in next week's video on the 4 steps to create a mini retirement plan. It's for you to think about, would your 80-year-old self be grateful for the actions you're taking today in your career? Think about that. 4th reason why I preferred a mini retirement is because, as I mentioned, there's no regrets when you do retire for good. Let's say if you want to retire early, like, you know, 50 or something like that, have you lived a good life? Have you answered all the what ifs in your 30s or in your 20s? Right? That's why oftentimes you see like people who retire, they suddenly buy this outrageous things or outrageous items that, like, how does that really benefit you right now? Like, what? It's because they want to recreate the energy and youth that they had, and they weren't able to maximize that then. And I don't want to feel that way. I don't want to retire early and think how I wish I lived a different life, how I wish I answered that what if I took a different path. And for me, that is the regret I would never ever want to weigh heavy on me when I'm older. Because the problem is sometimes we're so focused on having a retirement plan that we don't get to enjoy today. I'm not saying that you're going to drain out your savings just to finally travel and just so you could finally do that passion project. No. I realized that we can have the best of both worlds, that we can have those mini retirement plans in our youth while also investing for our long-term retirement, because that's what I've been doing. You know, that I have been saving consistently for that mini retirement that I had that allowed me to save 500K to pursue my dream career today and my dream lifestyle today. And at the same time, I'm still consistently investing for my long-term retirement. Okay, so if you feel like having a mini retirement is calling out your name, comment below and let me know and say no regrets. Okay, let me know, because that will also claim to the universe that you want to live your best life with no regrets right now, so that when you do retire, you look back at your life and know that you have lived a very full life. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure that you check out the previous video I had about why I stopped working really hard to be financially free, because in next week's video, we're gonna talk about how you can also create a mini retirement plan in 4 steps. So I will see you there.